Okay, so guys, welcome back to everything. And before we get into technicalities today, I just want to tell you guys, well done. I mean, it's um, not easy deciding to go into tech. Trust me, it's something else because I'm now seeing how not easy it is. I've gotten used to getting out of that point when I started learning data science. Now I'm going into software engineering. It's something else. And I'm saying that it's not easy at all. So I'm now beginning to understand you guys complain sometimes that you're saying you're finding it hard to understand. People come into my inbox. In my mind, I'll be like, Ogbeni, you can understand this thing, Joe. But now I'm now understanding that it's not easy again. So I'm saying thank you on your behalf for trying. I mean, you can never know unless you try, right? And if you've not failed before, success can you can never understand the true value of success. But when it comes, you can easily do anything just straight away. But when you've tried and failed, you begin to value success when it begins to come. Okay, and I'm saying thank you to everyone that has tried or that's trying and is beginning to try. Okay, and all right. Um, so before we get into today, I want to give you guys a very big secret that um it's been working without me knowing, but then the truth is that what is working and you don't know, or what is a rule and you're doing it and you don't know, it will either work for you or not work for you, depending on the rule you're applying. Okay, it's nobody's friend. So I want to teach you guys how to make things happen. Okay, how to make things happen. What you want to happen, how to make it happen. Okay, and um to go straight to the point, the best way to make something happen is to believe it. Is to believe that it can actually happen. All right. Like I always say, I'm a Bible child, right? I love picking some things from there because I mean, it has been helping me. I'm not trying to be religious, but I mean, it's my life basically. So, there's something it says, nothing is impossible to him who believes, right? But the question then is, if nothing is impossible to him who believes, how do you actually believe? How do you believe? I mean, that's a very good question I've asked myself, and I've battled with a lot of things, and it's been difficult for me to understand. The question is, how do you believe? Okay. Knowing you have to believe is different from knowing how to believe. They are two different things. And if you don't know how to believe, you would always know that you have to believe. But I mean, to put it into work, it's something difficult, right? So, how do you believe? The simple way to believe is by constantly imagining it. Simple. Let me put it this way. I know some of us I mean, we all have had bad experiences in life, one time or the other. But if you pay close attention, most of these bad experiences are because of what we have imagined so far, right? What the kind of thoughts we've harbored in our head. So if you're harboring this kind of thoughts that nothing will work out, nothing will work out, nothing will work out, you start to see that one way or the other, nothing begins to work out. Right? Maybe one time, one good luck will just happen. You say, okay, something good is happening. But then the thoughts in your head is saying nothing is going to happen, nothing is going to work out. And you see everything around you playing or dancing, doing leg work because of the thoughts you've harbored in your head. You've constantly thought that nothing will work out. And then after thinking it, you are now saying it. Man, this thing not going to work out. Oh, this thing won't work out. Oh, because you've been saying it. It's more like you are confessing it or you are, basically saying it. right? So if you are constantly imagining that and you are saying it, how do you then make things begin to work out for you? Is by thinking, let's say you want to be a data analyst and you're thinking that you will never be a data analyst. I'm sorry to say, no matter the kind of skills you have or how good you are with those skills, it affects your attitude in displaying those skills because you've constantly thought that you will never be a data analyst. When given the chance to showcase your wonderful skills, you fumble because your mind has gone down. There's no morale, no belief system anymore. It affects you, affects your attitude. Your attitude affects your demeanor. Your demeanor even affects your actions. And that way, so on and so forth, so everything begins to crumble, right? So the first way is, I'll call it meditation. The best way to believe something is to meditate. If you want to write, I mean, you can write. I'm not a professor, but you can write. So meditation is the best way to believe something. So when you constantly meditate on something, that thing begins to go into your subconscious. We have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And no matter how conscious you are governed and ruled by your subconscious mind. If you have no control over your subconscious mind, well, okay, whenever I say well, you know what always follows, right? So, well, if you have no control over your subconscious mind, well, and I won't say it's easy, but it's doable. It's very doable. It's not impossible. Okay. So meditation. Meditation is gotten from the word, from a Greek word, I think is melanklatus or something like that. I'm not sure. Right. It's gotten from that word melanklatus. Please help me research and tell me if I'm wrong. I think I might be wrong. So that word means to imagine, right? Is to imagine. So anything you want to do, you have to first imagine it. Like like I said before you do anything as a data analyst, first of all, you imagine the kind of visual you want to plot before you even start plotting it. The quality of your imagination of that visual, one, it makes your work easy and sometimes makes it faster. That is the strength of imagination, right? Then the second way is, once you are imagining it, your constant imagination, the sorry, constant repeating of that imagination before I hit my tongue. Okay, because I think I'll be going live. I'm recording this. I'm trying. So constant repeating of that imagination is going to make you start believing whatever it is you are imagining, be it positive or negative. It has no respect for whatever the situation is, but one way or the other, you start believing it. So if you imagine for a long time that um, you have no place in this world, well, one way or the other, you have no place in this world. If you imagine for a long time that you are not good enough, one way or the other, you are not going to be good enough. If you imagine for a long time that you are awesome, you're a treasure, you are kind of a treasure that this world has been lacking so far, you begin to believe it and you begin to act like it. Okay, you begin to act like a treasure. The way you attack situations, you be like someone that thinks is a treasure or he or she is a treasure. So if you feel or you want to be a data analyst, the first way to do that is to imagine yourself playing with visuals, doing wonderful things with visuals, or with Power BI, SQL, or Python, whatever it is you're trying to learn. Imagine yourself, keep imagining yourself doing that until you actually believe. You actually believe it, whether you have learned it or not. Keep imagining yourself doing that. It's the best, fastest way to get to the end point. So if you're here and you don't believe or that you can do something, whether it's become a data analyst or anything at all, think about the end you want. Just take your time, think about the end goal or what you're trying to achieve, how you want it to be when you have achieved everything, right? This one now is how to do problem statement. Because problem statement, one of the components of problem statement is the why. The why is, how do you want everything to look like after the problem has been solved? When you are able to get the why, you can then get the how. So think about how you want the end to be. If there was no problem at all, how would everything look like? And that thing you are imagining has to make you happy. Okay, getting from the word mediatum. Okay, I'm not looking for Latin. If that's Latin, don't give me Latin. Try and look for Greek or Hebrew. Check Greek and Hebrew. I think that's what I'm looking for. Greek or Hebrew. Okay. So think about the end you want to see. Then make sure that that end. Okay. I don't want Latin. You're giving me what do they call it? Um, this word I do I don't want right. Look for something like Hebrew or Greek. Thank you, Dada. Nice one. Thank you so much. So so think of how you want the end to be and make sure that that end makes you happy. If it does not make you happy, try and adjust it, right? Adjust it a little, adjust it a little. The wonderful thing about imagination is that you can keep adjusting and adjusting. In fact, you can build a mansion on top a river and build a river on top the mansion and carry the sun and put as a roof. Imagination can do that, right? So keep imagining until that imagination makes you happy and you understand that it can be realized. Once you've gotten there and it makes you happy and you say it every day, you open your mouth and you say it every day, trust me, 1 month, 2 months, you so much believe in that thing, whatever it is you're saying, that it doesn't even look like a big deal for you anymore. So that's the fastest way to believe anything. And guess what? It even happens or works in prayer, right? When you want to pray about something, before you even pray about that, make sure you first of all make yourself believe it. So you don't waste that time in prayer because prayer is time. You're spending time praying. So you don't want to waste that time. You need to believe what you're praying for. So take your time and imagine with the result, the answer you're looking for. Make yourself believe it, right? And go to the place of prayer, however you pray, and pray, right? Once you believe what you have prayed, you won't be filled with worry anymore. Okay, you won't be worried. Okay, Melato, thank you. Melato, thank you. All right. The practice of thinking deeply in silence. Thank you. Simply thinking deeply in silence. So that's what I'm looking for. Melato. As I was saying Melanclatus. Imagine me. Sorry. So that's one way to make that's like one of the ways I've seen that you can make things happen. Right. One of the ways I've seen that you can make things happen. So if you're looking for how to, you can go and read Think and Grow Rich. It's a book, a very wonderful book. Think and Grow Rich. It's a very nice book hi, written by someone. I've forgotten the man's name. But please, if you want to read the book, fine. It's awesome. You can get hard copy or you can get a soft copy, PDF copy, and read your way through. Okay, I hope I've been able to make sense so far. Right? So that's my gift for you guys this Friday. Try it out for a while and tell me the kind of results you seen or you are seeing. Then you can thank me later because I know it always works. Okay. Um, think and grow rich. Uh, okay. Right. Okay, guys. Where do we go from here now? We are talking about our project, right? Um, yeah. So I was meant to share my screen with you guys and show you what I've done so far. I'll tell you how I did what I did. Then we can move on to every other person. I want to show off. So that's why I'm not giving anybody chance this morning. I've not shown off since. So I'm sorry. but I have to show off.
They're waiting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Napoleon Hill. Imagine this popular guy, Napoleon Hill. I don't even, man, Simeon. I don't even know his name again. Wonderful. I hope you can all see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not
Yes,
yet.
we can.
But
Yes, we can. We can.
Awesome.
I can see the screen.
Awesome. So this is just this dashboard I did it in I practically designed it on paper in 15 minutes, right? It took me just 15 minutes to design the 4 pages on paper because I wanted to imagine what I wanted to do. The example I was giving you, right? I employed that example here. So I first of all imagined the kind of visuals I wanted to plot. I did a little bit of sketch. The sketches were ugly, but this is the result of the sketch and everything. So, so this is the those 4 questions that I sent your mail and everything. These are the 4 questions. Page one is question one, page two is for question two, page three, page four, and all that. So what I decided to do. So this is for Tata Group, and I'm here to put the problems. I think tomorrow I'm going to do my own. Next week I'm going to do my own presentation slide.
Please, I can't see your screen. Oh,
Well, your network is
hello,
good.
am I the only one not seeing what you are projecting?
I think you are the only one. No.
Ah, thank God. Though. So, uh, so okay, the title of this whole visual is just revenue and expansion strategy because they are looking to look at the revenue of what they've done so far and how or where should they expand? Where should they focus their expansion on? So I just decided to name it revenue and expansion strategy. Then the question one says something like the revenue over throughout the months of 2021, 2011, sorry. They want to view the trends of revenue throughout the months of 2020, 2011, and how well it has increased by each season. Right? And one of the things the data said was to use conditional formatting to remove negative values. So I just followed through with the instructions. I'm going to go to the table pane now and show you how I was able to do that. Hmm. Hold on, my stuff is loading. It's too slow. Hmm. Okay. Please just give us time, give us time, give us time. We're going to get there. Okay. So, my own cleaning might be different from your own, but basically, if you clean your data well, you do almost the same visual, right? So, for the customers without or where their stuff is blank, I decided to put no ID there, which means they don't have identification, right? And I decided to go with my experience working with Jumia, and it simply means that if you have no ID or if your ID is blank, it simply means you're not registered. You're not a registered customer. Maybe a customer agent helped you place an order because there's a way customer agents can help customers place an order without them being registered, which means you have to call to place the order. And if that happens, at the end of the call, they'll ask you if you want to go ahead and register an account with the company. You're likely to say no. I'm the one that will say no, I don't want stress. So I decided to put that as no ID. Then, for those customers without ID, I grouped all the customers into 2 groups, registered and unregistered customers, which is what we have here, customer category, right? Then let me see. So the next thing I did was to extract the month from this invoice date because I needed to group it by season, right? Which is winter, autumn, summer, and spring. So I used Power Query to extract the month, which is November is 11, December is 12, and so on and so forth. So after extracting the month, the next thing I just did was to group them into seasons using DAX formula, right? The DAX formula will still load. The DAX formula will still load. Okay. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Give me a moment, guys. Uh, give me a moment, guys. Okay, so all right, so I decided to use DAX formulas. What this formula simply means is that if the month, right, is greater than or equal to 12, and is if it's December and is less than March, which means if it's December, which means if the month is December, January, and February, let it be winter. That's what this formula means, the first side. Let it be winter. Then, if the month is March, April, May, which is less than 6, less than June, let it be spring. If the month is June, July, August, which is less than September, let it be summer. Every other thing that is not in this formula, that was not mentioned in this formula, let them be autumn. Those every other things are September, October, November. So I want them to be autumn. All right. If you don't understand what DAX formula means, don't worry, which means you are in the
So that formula is complex. So
complex, Abby. Yeah, that's big mountains. So,
yeah, that's what I think.
so if you're confused and you are in the mentorship program, right? Don't worry because we are doing Power BI, right? We're on Power BI now, so you don't have to worry about that. I'll break that down for you. Okay, so but I use DAX formulas to get this season. Okay, put them in season. So after doing that, after feeling like a bad guy, I decided to do what did I even do again? So I did what we call conditional formula, right? By doing that, I just clicked on this arrow in quantity. Okay, I clicked on the arrow in quantity. I'll just wait for it to load. What I did was that I told Power BI that I don't want negative values to be in this table. I don't know why it's adding negative values from here. I don't want negative values to be in this table, right? So I use number filters. If you want to do that, you can use number filters. Then my system is kind of slow because I'm doing sharing and I'm recording and blah, blah. So just bear with me. So I use number filters. My lesson is taking longer. Okay. Okay, yeah. I use number filters, right? I'm sure you can all see what I'm doing here. Then in the number filters section, you will see greater than or equal to. I chose greater than or equal to, and I told Power BI that okay, if that value is greater than or equal to 1, because the rule of thumb says that for in the mail that focus on only quantity that are either equal to 1 or greater than 1, right? So I use that conditional formula to select only the ones that are greater than or equal to 1, the quantity that are greater than or equal to 1. Then for unit price, focus on only unit price that is greater than 0. Okay, so I focused on only the unit
Daniel,
price.
sorry, what? Excuse me. Daniel,
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Daniel, sorry, please. I said you said for the quantity that use number filter.
Yeah,
Hello?
yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, I said the quantity. Please, you need to explain it again for you to be able to remove those that were less than
Okay,
1.
okay. So, I'm not going to show you guys answer because it's making my system kind of slow. But basically, what I did is I clicked on the filter stuff beside quantity. Then you're going to see an option number filters, right? Select on number filters. You're going to also see options called greater than or equal to. Then click on greater than or equal to, because in the mail I sent to you, the mail says focus on quantity that is either 1 or greater than 1, which means greater than or equal to 1. So select greater than or equal to 1. Then you're going to see an option box showing you, telling you what number, what value do you want to specify. In the value section, just click on 1 and press OK. It will filter your entire table that you have currently loaded and focus on only the quantities that are either equal to 1 or greater than 1. Then you do the same thing for unit price. In the mail, they said focus on only unit price um, that is 0, that is greater than 0, right? So do the same thing for unit price. But I would just advise, if you have done it for quantity, you can leave unit price so it doesn't mess up with what you're doing. Okay.
Sorry.
You said if you have done it for quantity, what should happen to the price?
Just leave unit price if you've done it for quantity, because 0 plus 0 is 0. So just leave that that way.
Hello,
Yeah,
Daniel.
definitely go
Excuse me,
ahead.
please. Yeah, you made a statement that, are you quoting from the mail that we are to focus on the positive number?
Yes, that's what is in the mail.
Like, okay, I want to go and confirm.
Okay. While you're confirming, I'm moving ahead. So I'm going to go to my visuals, what I plotted. Let's see.
See it from the mail and paste it on the chat room.
Okay. So the first question says the CEO wants to see the growth of revenue across all the months in 2011, right? So what I just did was I wanted to see the growth of revenue and the growth of quantity. That is the demand in quantity, the demand of in that particular country or that particular month across um, across the months in 2011. So I found out that there is a very high correlation, which means high relationship between revenue generated and quantity demanded in each month, which means the higher the revenue or the higher the quantity demanded, the higher the revenue, right? Let's look at one of them now. If we look at February, where my mouse is now, we can see that the revenue generated is 499,000 and quantity demanded is 277,000, almost 278, which is like more than half of the revenue generated, which means that okay, it's over 50%. Then if you take 5 steps forward and go to July, and we see the revenue generated is 681,000 and the quantity demanded is 391,000. That is actually more than 50% too, which means okay, there is a very good correlation, good relationship here, which means as quantity demanded is increasing, revenue is also increasing, right? So I just use this smart narrative to give a paginated report on this particular visual, right? So the question also says that the CEO wants to view the revenue generated in each season, right? Revenue generated in each season. Okay, so this should read revenue and demand by season, right? So the sky blue bar is for revenue, and you can see it in the legend, and the dark one is for quantity demanded. For the season with the highest revenue is autumn, right? Season with the highest revenue is autumn. Now, I want to see the months that are in this autumn, right? I want to actually see the month with the highest um, revenue for autumn. Which month generated the highest revenue in the season for autumn? So I'll just click on my drill down. Let me do small magic. I'll click on my drill down. Oh yeah, I'll click down. Yeah. Then I'll click on autumn, which is the revenue generated. I'll just click on the bar. So that should change. Come on, switch now. Yeah. So, yep. So that should change it for me. So I can see only 3 months here. I can see November, October, and September, which means November was the highest, 1.4. November was the highest, 1.4 million, right? So followed by October and September, right? I can also do the same thing for winter or any other season. Okay, so that's just to make it interesting. Adefila, do you have a question?
No, 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 no.
Right. Please, if you have a question, raise your hand like Adefila. I like the way he's doing his own. Nice. So I can choose to do the same thing for winter, summer, and spring. Okay. I don't want to do that because of my laptop is, I don't know, so slow. So I also grouped the revenue generated by customer sect. Okay. Customer category. I should have named it by customer category. So I can look at the registered and unregistered customers, right? So the registered customers contributed 85% of revenue, total revenue, while unregistered customers contributed 14.85%, which means out of all the revenue generated by the company, most of the revenue came from registered customers, right? So definitely the company should look at where these registered customers are coming from. Also, one of the things that they are focusing on is that they want to remove United Kingdom from their observation, right? They want to take United Kingdom out because I found out that there are a lot of customers coming from United Kingdom. That means they've already implemented expansion in United Kingdom, right? That is why they're having more customers coming from there. So one of their focus now is to implement expansion on every other country, neglecting United Kingdom. Okay, so that takes us to number 2, page 2. Let's wait for page 2 to load. Okay, so we're now looking at top 10 countries with the most revenue generated and quantity demanded, excluding United Kingdom. United Kingdom, we already know they are the boss, okay? They are Oga Pata Pata. So we want to take them out of the option. But now, if United Kingdom is not there, which country is the second boss or the vice president? So we can see that Netherlands is forming boss here because United Kingdom is not around. Okay, they are having look at this paginated report. It just gives a summary of this whole visual. Right, Netherlands had the highest revenue at 284,000, over 284,000, while Japan had the lowest. Now, mind you, Japan is not necessarily the lowest, but for the top 10 countries, in those top 10 countries, they have ranks. Out of them, Japan is the lowest in those top those top 10 countries. We also have the least 10 countries. I think we're going to see that in my next report, right? So these are the top 10 countries apart from United Kingdom, right? So if Netherlands is having over 284,000, which means Netherlands can and we can focus some of our expansion in Netherlands. Definitely, it means that we have some customers that are not from UK that are actually buying a lot of products from us from Netherlands. So that is going to tell us that Netherlands is a very good place to expand. Okay, it's a very, very good place to expand. So if we also look at the quantity demanded, Netherlands is also boss, is the guy here. Okay, it's having more quantity demanded than what they call it, than any other country. But now, if you go down and pay attention to country like Belgium, okay, you can see that even though Belgium has more revenue than Sweden, right? But yet, Belgium quantity demanded is very low compared to that of Sweden. But yet, Belgium's revenue generated is higher than that of Sweden. Now, what does that tell you? Simply for me, I would just see that Belgium, even though they are buying in low quantity, the amount of product they are buying, I think the product is higher in price. Maybe they buy more product. Few customers buy product high um, with high prices, right? So even though Sweden has more quantity demanded than Belgium, Belgium have more buying power than, right? Maybe they buy product with much higher prices than that of Sweden, right? So so one of the things what this visual is just simply telling us is that if we look at these first five countries here, Netherlands, Ireland, Germany, France, and Australia, we can look at how we can focus expansion on these five countries, right? How can we focus expansion on these five countries? And we should also pay attention to Australia because it's from a different continent than that of these other countries. All these ones are Europe. Australia is from a different continent entirely. So if we want to expand in Australia, we must make sure that we must bear in mind that the success of expansion in Australia will affect every other country in that continent where Australia is from. Okay, so um right. So I'm going to go to my next report. Sorry guys, my stuff is not really fast, okay, but I'm trying. I'm trying. So, okay, top 10 revenue generating customers and the least 10 revenue generating customers to look at here. Okay, so it's so bad that these customers did not have names. I was tempted to give this one name, but let me not overdo. So I just left it this way. We can see here that customer with the ID 14646 has the highest buying power, right? Has the highest buying power. I would have decided to look at which country is coming from, right? But there's a very good chance that it's coming from the UK. Okay, I did not really put that filter there. But customer with ID 14646 has the highest buying power, right? So now this first visual here tells us the first 10 customers with the highest buying power are the ones that are actually bringing more revenue to our company. So maybe we can do what we call promo, or we can give them gift cards just to encourage them, tell them well done and all those kind of stuff. Maybe when is Valentine? Okay, Valentine has passed, sorry. When is I don't know, Easter? We can send them gifts to their families and just to encourage them to buy from us, or congratulate them for a job well done in helping and being loyal to the company. Then looking at this list 10 revenue generating customers, we could do the same thing, sending them gifts just to encourage them, or we could understand why they are actually buying less, right? So these are the least 10 buying customers, the visual that's down, and we can see that the customer 17448 has gotten a total of 4,288,000 in products from us. Why the least one here, customer with ID 12666, his total purchase is just $227. Man, that's low. I wonder what he's buying. So $227 so far, right? So these are the top 10 customers with the highest buying power, and these are the least, like the last 10 customers with the lowest buying power so far in our company. So the last visual that I was able to do in so little time is just to look at a summary, because I think question 4 says the CEO wants to see the summary for each country in just one view. So I used cards to do this. So whenever I click on a country on the map, it shows me the quantity demanded in that country and revenue generated in that country. I think I excluded United Kingdom from the reports. I think I excluded United Kingdom from the report. Okay, Bumi, while it's loading, please ask your question.
All right, Daniel. This revenue generating customer. I like the way the visual that is giving this.
I can't hear you, Bumi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you now.
Hello, Daniel.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you.
Please connect the chat for the list.
Revenue generating customers. On a normal day, it's supposed to be how do you invert it? That's all I need to know. That's all I'm asking.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. I did a lot of filter.
That's what you.
Okay. So what I did was I brought in all the countries into the filter section. After putting the visuals, what I wanted in the visual, then in the filter pane, I dragged the country column there. Then I also used, instead of basic filtering, I used top N. So what top N does is that top N will tell me top what do you want to see. I can write top 15, top 5, but I focus on
Yes,
top
I
10.
get you, Daniel. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm talking about the vision. I'm not talking about the process. I know about top 10, top end and all that.
Okay.
As in, on a normal day, those bars are supposed to be at the bottom, but the way they went up, how you inverted it and got that particular visuals. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Instead of top N, select list N. It will invert itself. It will be upside down by itself automatically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So okay. So. I hope my visual is not going to stop showing up. Okay, so now what if I want to see for Canada, right? So I want to see.
On two? Yes, you have 2 spoons to go. Yes.
So I want to see for only Canada, right? Let's assume I want to see for only Canada because the question says that I need to show for only Canada. I need to show everything in one visual so that the CEO won't have to scroll up and scroll down. Even myself, I won't want to scroll up and scroll down. Nobody likes stress. So I will just on this particular visual, this map. So I brought in all the countries into a map, right? For me to do that, I transformed the data by telling Power BI to recognize that particular country column as country on the map, so that any country that I put on the map will just locate themselves automatically on the map. So if we look at it, I can see Canada here showing some of the amounts used spent in Canada is $3,666, and the total quantity that has been demanded in Canada is 2,763. If I should click on Canada, the card above is going to change. Okay, so why is showing this particular amount? It should be more. If I should add United Kingdom, revenue generated should be 10 million, right? For everybody, revenue generated will be 10 million. But I excluded United Kingdom because I was instructed to exclude United Kingdom from this report. So I'll click on Canada, which is North America. Clicking on it, it should change everything I'm seeing on my dashboard, which means the quantity demanded is going to turn to 2,763, while the revenue generated is going to turn to 3,666. It has loaded on my side, but it's still loading on you guys for you guys to see. So okay, it's already showing for you guys. So yeah, that is what I was able to do so far in 45 minutes. Okay, because I was trying to meet up with this meeting. So I was able to do this in 45 minutes, but the most important step that worked for me was I already had a sketch of what I wanted to do, just a very rough sketch. I think I did that in 10 minutes, just a rough sketch on a very white paper. So, yep. So this is my very simple way of answering the questions that were thrown by the CEO and the CMO. Okay, so I'm going to use this to do my own slides for the presentation week. I'll also do my own presentation because I want to show myself again. So, yep. So I'm going to open the floor for questions and those I would like to share their screen. Okay, and those that like to share their screen or ask questions, please go ahead. The floor is all yours. Okay.
Okay.
Adefila, go ahead.
Good morning, Daniel.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. So my first question is concerning that demand. You use the invoice number to count like the demand. Okay. The invoice number you counting it uniquely is the yardstick you use for the demand, right?
Nope, I use quantity.
Okay. Now, I want you to convince me why using quantity would be the best, because I'm thinking using transaction would be the best because quantity. Let's say they have over 4,000 products they are selling. So different products with varying quantity. So if we use sum, to me, I don't think it's capture everything. But if we use the number of transaction, okay, they open receipt for this person, even though the person is buying about 10 items, or they open invoice for this person, even though he's buying 2 items, I think that should be the demand. But I am open to your suggestion to say, okay, think otherwise, and this is the reason.
Okay, so let's assume you go to um let's assume you are trying to buy, let's say, a Versace shirt, right? And the person that is selling it to you wants to know the demand of this product in the market. Will he be counting the amount of receipts or invoice slip is given out, or will he be counting the amount of products that is selling? Because that's the question you need to look at. When you're looking at demand for a product, you don't count invoice number.
The quantity. But remember, you are saying one product. What about in a case whereby he has about 1,000 products?
Now, here's the thing. To know the demand for a particular product, it is not the invoice number that you count. It's how much quantity, how many, because if you're trying to say you like eating, maybe you like eating shortbread, how many shortbread did you buy for us to know that you like eating shortbread? For us to know your demand for shortbread. How many shortbread biscuits did you buy? The amount of shortbread biscuits you bought determines your demand for that particular product. If we are counting it by the amount of times you received this thing in a POS or from the supermarket, what if those amount of times you are only buying one shortbread, and someone that came there the same amount of time with you is buying five shortbread, but it's the same amount of time, the same amount of receipts you are going to receive? How do you now know the demand for the product per customer? Will you count the receipt, or will you count the product that is inside the receipt? I hope that answers your question. Because when you're looking at demand for a product, invoice number is just how many items are inside this particular invoice. You can choose to do a visual on that. But when you're looking at demand for a product is measured by quantity, not whatever invoice. Because in every invoice, how many products are inside that invoice, or how many times did that product repeat itself over the years or over the months? You understand? For different customers in different countries and everything. So when you count the amount of product, the amount of times they've ordered that product, you then know the demand for this product. So demand is measured in quantity. Then once you're able to get the demand for that product in quantity, you can now say, okay, if this product has this price tag of $200,000 and it has been demanded 23 times, right? That means 23 of this particular product has gone away from our warehouse. How much revenue did we get? 23 times 200,000, which is okay, 4.6 million, right? Yeah, 4.6 million. So that's how you measure demand, quantity.
What about if you look
What about
it this way? Repetition, use count of that invoice number to not still give me the same result.
now? It depends on
All right,
what you're
no
trying
problem.
to see, right? It depends on what you're trying to see. Me, I'm trying to look at the sum of quantity sold, the sum, right? The sum of the particular items that were sold. Because if this person is ordering six, right, six of the quantity, and this other person is ordering six, right? If you are doing counts, it will do 6 1, 6 2, 6 3. If you use count distinct, it will do 6, avoid any other 6 and go to 7. But if you're using sum will be, you are ordering 6 of this product, I'm ordering 6 of this product. How many of this product has been ordered in total? 6 plus 6, that is 12. That means if the total product is, let's say 144, and we have ordered 12 so far, to get the percentage of the product that has been ordered will be 12 over 144 times 100, right? I'll be 144 over 12 times 100, 11. You get? So when you're looking at demand, focus on the sum, add all the quantities together. You get? Join all of them together because quantity can be added. You get? If you buy shortbread 4 today and you buy shortbread 10 tomorrow, is it 2 shortbread or 2 times? Yeah, it's 2 times you bought shortbread, but how many shortbread have you eaten in total? Right? 4 plus 10, that's 14. Your demand for shortbread so far is 14 quantity. So 14 quantities. So yep. But if you're looking at how many times this
Can you please? Can you please? Hello?
I can't hear you.
Can you please show start from the beginning on how you are able to come up with the visual of the month against the revenue and the demand? Just
my laptop is
can you
slow.
just
My
quickly do
laptop
that on
is
a
slow.
new?
So but the video is recorded. So the laptop is going to slow down a little to do all that. But the video is recorded, okay? Because yeah, it's a whole lot to go
Okay.
back.
Maybe I will chat you. I just want to see what you what you just drag to get that.
Oh, okay. I think
And
what
then
I dragged.
also
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
the way you interpreted season
Mm-hmm.
is different from the way I interpreted season.
Mm-hmm.
Although yours is more right than mine, because when I look at the season, I just say, okay, I interpreted it as, okay, this is when they have their spike
Okay.
in terms of revenue. Okay, this is when they have their low. So I did not look at it in a geographical setting, like, okay, this is the spring, this is the autumn, and blah blah like that. So I think if you see that in our presentation, that means we stole it from you.
Ah, you're a thief. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, it's fine. It's good to steal. So,
I mean, what?
okay. So, well, I just came up with
No, I'm a thief that even I've repented before.
right. Okay. So, your way of doing seasons, it's like I said, no way is right. No way is right. As long as you're able to defend whatever it is you're doing. But why I was able to do seasons that way is because I remembered in the human resource project, we worked with seasons, right? So why don't I just play around with seasons that way and see what I'm able to come up with? So, and I had to use the seasons for United States. I just Googled, find out how United States group their seasons and all. So, yep. But anything you want to come up with, it's fine. It's fine because I'm not really looking. I'm just looking at something different you can throw at me and I'll be like, wow, wow. So it's good if you come up with something different, really different. I'll be very, very glad to see that different thing. Okay. Um, right. Do we have any?
Next to your idea, I'll go and look. I will need to search online. Okay, the spring, autumn,
Hmm,
is it the same with all other African countries? Because in Nigeria, we don't experience that. We
yeah.
experience dry and wet season. So I think until I confirm that, then I will adopt your own. Then also, I want to ask, even though in the mail we are told about Dawari Tongus, and from the I think the CEO and everybody is just silent about it. But I don't think it's wrong if any one of us can go extra mile to say, okay, we can find some pattern here, we can find some insight here, and we have this recommendation, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So basically, for these visuals, I just followed the questions that were thrown. if I wanted to spend more time and uncover new trends, um I would go a different direction, right? I would just do something that we're not told. Okay. So if I wanted to give recommendation for this, since they are planning on expansion, they're focusing on expansion, I would tell them to focus on the top 5 countries first. Okay, countries like Netherlands, Ireland, Germany, France, and Australia. Let them focus on those countries first and look at how they can expand using their most viable marketing strategy. Okay, so once they're able to apply that, let them do a test run. Let them not put all their resources out there. Let them do a test run and look at the returns on their investment, the ROI for that particular um, country. If it's something that they can do, or it's something that it's showing a very nice ROI, even at that small rate of investment, then I think they can. That's one of the recommendation I would give. Then something else I'll tell them to do is for those countries that are giving low returns, let them just remove their hand from there. Let them, remove their business from that country because they are demanding a lot of products and yet it's not showing in the revenue. So what they can do is take or maybe look at those last 10 countries. If they do a test run on just adding more investment to that country and it's not working, they can take the resources and add it to those first 5 countries, spread it across the first 5 countries, and see how much money they will make if they focus their resources on other countries apart from United Kingdom, because so far United Kingdom is doing awesome, is really doing well. So they can focus their resources on other countries apart from United Kingdom. Okay. Right. So.
Okay, but what I just said, I in the chat room I posted from the mail. You quoted for about like word for word, say we are to focus on the positive number, but from what is under the data cleaning, it was not written like that word for word. So, hence the interpretation that myself got from it is different from the way you do your thing. But although we still arrive at the same results, some things. So I just want you to look at from the mail on data cleaning, you wrote this, but you did not make mention, okay, focus on the positive ones.
Okay. I think it's just straightforward. It says create a check that the quantity should not be below 1 unit. Anything below 1 unit is going to be negative, right? And create a check that unit price should not be below $0. Anything below 0 is negative. So I think that's pretty straightforward. Once is 1 and above is positive. Once is 0 and above is positive, right? So that's one thing you want to look at, right?